Boom.
Se nota quieta, Ty.
Last second goal. Rest in peace. Well done.
No, es
See, everything you heard before was probably a warm-up. I got thousands of songs we can do. I could be here till 5 o'clock in the fucking morning. Don't give a fuck. Just like, like crazy. So that real hip-hop is over.
Liquor got a lady, liquor got a baby looking shady as a lady why? Liquor got a baby, liquor got a lady looking shady, yeah. Liquor got a baby, liquor got a lady looking shady as in baby why? Liquor got a lady, liquor got a lady looking shady, yeah. Liquor got a baby.
What is good? It's Esteban Xound. How you guys doing today? We're back, bitches. I don't know what the fuck this is. Anyway, I moved the camera back so no more talking floating head. I figure I'd move the camera back so it's a little more freedom between me and you. Before we get into anything, subscribe. Subscribe if you like the channel, if you like the videos, if you want to see more content. Subscribe. We'll try and get out the videos as quickly as possible. Follow the social medias if you can. Esteban Xound on Instagram and Twitter. That's more personal. And for my music, if you want to follow just the channel and Sound Movement Entertainment, the label, which is what this is under HipHop Heads, under Sound Movement, then follow the Instagram and the Facebook, Sound Movement. Also check out the website, which is going to be the home for everything. Everything is still under construction. Everything is still in the baby stages, but we're, you know what I mean? We're every day just a little bit. For me, it's quality over quantity. So I like to take my time with these conversations. I like to take my time with these reviews. I really like to listen to these albums and just be a student of the game. That's really why I want to bring these to you guys. So it's definitely quality over quantity with me. So if you're willing to be patient with me and willing to wait a little bit, then I can get these conversations and these videos out to you guys. So I appreciate your patience through this matter. Thank you very much. Now, let's get to this fucking conversation. I like to say conversation more than album reviews. I don't really like break down album reviews. Like, I'll still break it down, but I like conversations more than I like reviews. And I want to have a conversation about this new album. The man who's been on a fucking streak recently. He's been putting out back-to-back albums. He put out Daytona. He put out Nazir's album. He put out Kid Cudi's album. And he put out now his own album. Man's been on a streak recently. No other than Kanye West and his new album, Ye. I want to have a conversation about this album. More big picture. I wrote notes, don't get me wrong. I'm going to be honest, I didn't do enough research as far as all the vocalists, all the R&B singers, a lot of different vocalists, different features, a lot of different writers on here. So I understand that, but I didn't do enough research. So I just want to give you my raw reaction as far as just how the album made me feel, my thoughts about the album. Honestly, when it comes to Kanye's a very polarizing figure. When it comes to me, I love Kanye's production. I love when Kanye's involved in a project. Kanye as a rapper for me, like, don't get me wrong, I love hearing Kanye. It's Kanye, like, he's been a part of our lives since I was growing up. Hearing Kanye is kind of just a part of like the regular. It's like hearing Jay-Z, it's like hearing Kendrick Lamar nowadays. He's just one of those artists that you know what I mean? You just hear. He's a part of your life. So that's how it is with me and Kanye. My favorite albums from Kanye are Late Registration, Graduation, and My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. College Dropout, that was a little earlier for me. That was a little early for my time. Obviously, I've done my research. Kanye's done work with Jay-Z, that's how he got his big break. He's also done work with Little Brother, and he used to do the old soul sampling chops, that's how I like Kanye too. But I definitely like newer Kanye, like Late Registration, Graduation, and My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. That's how I know Kanye. Those are the sounds that I go into when it comes to listening to Kanye. I'm listening for some soul samples, I'm listening to some dope ass songs, good music. I know it's gonna be lots of features, but it's like an overall production album, like a Dr. Dre album. Because you know what I mean? It's just a whole album with a whole bunch of artists, a whole bunch of writers, but it's good fucking music. That's what I wouldn't say expect, but that's what I listen to for Kanye. Going into this album, that's what I'm going to listen to. Just some good music, some funny punchlines, some highs, some lows, hopefully some soul sampling, but mostly just good music. Obviously that's the label that he's on, good music. So, you know what, that's what I'm here to listen to, some good music. And honestly, I was not disappointed. When it came to this album, I was not disappointed. For me, the way I took this album, this was Kanye's version of like Hear My Dear, like Marvin Gaye. Now, I don't know that much about Hear My Dear Marvin Gaye, but I hear that's like an album dedicated to his wife or whatever. There was like a divorce. Don't hold me hostage, but if I'm accurate as far as that, then that's what this album felt like, or I think that's what this was for, like an album just for his relationship. Now, it took me multiple listens to even pick up on this, because I was like, first impression, I was like, this shit's kind of a little bit all over the place. I like the music. I really like the music. I like some of the content matter, but sometimes this shit seems a little bit all over the place. The production goes from one track to the other. So it was hard to find a string that kept everything very consistent at first. When I listened to this over and over and over and over again, I was like, okay, now I see this is really like a whole album that's sounds like it's dedicated to his wife, Kim Kardashian. And at first, I mean, to somebody that might sound corny, because it's like, oh shit, like what could he be talking about as far as relationships? But no, he goes really deep as far as his relationships. And it seems like they have a really solid relationship. I mean, the way that Kanye puts it through the album, they actually have a really solid relationship. And they go through shit just like anybody else does. And I think he puts that on this album with no holding anything back. I think he goes through shit through his relationships, and he put that on this album. He put his mental health on the album. He put his relationship on the album. He put his daughter on the album. Like, he put a lot of personal things in this album. So I really like that. I like the fact that he went personal on the album. And again, it felt like a love letter to his wife. So the subject matter itself, it took me a little bit to kind of find the common theme, but once I got it, I was like, okay. Once I got it, I was like, I get it. Now, within this love album, there's also some highs, some Kanye just being like, fuck it, I don't give a fuck. Here's some funny punchlines, here's some braggadocious, you know what I mean, King Pharaoh type shit. We still get that from Kanye. We still get the upside of Kanye who's funny, who doesn't give a fuck, who's got the big ego, you know what I mean? We still get that side of Kanye, especially on the first 3 tracks. Thought About Killing You, Yikes, and All Mine. I think we get braggadocious Kanye as far as the first 3 tracks. So I really like that. We got some highs, but we also got the other side of Kanye, which is like the introspective, this is my family, this is my problems, my shortcomings, some of the shit that I've been going through as far as my relationship with Wouldn't Leave, even with No Mistakes, Ghost Town, Violent Crimes. We get personal Kanye. So we got both sides of Kanye. As far as the content matter, we got some highs, some braggadocious, some bangers on the first half of the album. And then the second half of the album, starting from Wouldn't Leave, was very personal Kanye. The first track he's opening up, we get both sides of Kanye. I think he set the tone of the album with the first track. It felt like a therapy session when he opened up. It felt like he was talking about like killing his wife, I guess. That's the way I took it, was he thought about killing his wife. First half of the track, he's just talking. I was just like, where is he gonna go with this? But I think he brought it together, especially when the beat switch stuff. Don't get me wrong, I really like the instrumental. I like the soulful feel of the first half. But he was just talking about killing somebody. I'm like, okay, Kanye, where are you going with this? But he brought it back together with the beat switch stuff. The beat switch stuff, and I was like, okay, this is the Kanye that we know. We all wanna die, B-O-D-O-A. I was like, oh shit, it's lit. The second track we got, banger, braggadocious Kanye, but still being sentimental, still being open. Obviously, things were a little different in my situation than Kanye's, but I personally related to that shit. So I really like the second track. He dealt with his mental health on the second track, but he did it in a Kanye way. He's talking about his pills and taking different medications, but he was doing it over a fast-paced beat. The beat was going in, and I like how he was talking about his bipolar disorder. Ain't no disability, it's a superpower. It could be menacing, frightening and he needs help sometimes, but we also got the side that's like, hey, it's the beauty, the braggadocious, the side that we really like about Kanye. So we got both sides of the mental health on the second track, which I really like, and I relate because personally my family, my father actually dealt with bipolar disorder, and again, it's you get both sides of that shit. You get the artist who's a hell of a worker and can put things together, and then you get the asshole. So I personally related to that. Third track, All Mine, I thought was a banger. I just like this track. It's a dope track. It sounds like a fuck your bitch, braggadocious track. I think this was maybe directed towards his wife, saying that she's all mine. And that might be a stretch, but that's kind of what I got from it. The instrumental is sensual. I like it. The 808's posting on that motherfucker. I like the hook. The hook is unique. It's well done. Just a solid, dope banger. This is kind of when things shift. You get a shift in the album. Wouldn't Leave. This is when you get really a personal, emotional Kanye. From Wouldn't Leave up until Violent Crimes, that's when we get very personal, very introspective Kanye, talking about his relationship on Wouldn't Leave and how, regardless of all the bullshit, he still felt like she wasn't mine enough, which is kind of a contradiction obviously with the track All Mine but Wouldn't Leave. How regardless of all the things that he's been through in his relationship and some of the things that in the public eye, Kim Kardashian would still not leave. You still wouldn't leave, and for that, I respect that. You're just kind of like DJ Khaled. You smart, you loyal.
You smart, you loyal, you're grateful. I appreciate that.
I respected that. And again, when I heard that, I was like, damn, it gave me a new perspective on the whole relationship. I was like, I didn't really respect the relationship or really expect that from Kim Kardashian, but it seems like she's really holding Kanye down. So I respect that. And tracks like this kind of give me a new perspective on the relationship. So I really like that as far as Wouldn't Leave. No Mistake, very soulful. I like the opening vocals like, make no mistake, girl, I still love you. I was like, oh shit, this is dope. We got some soulful vocals in here. We got some soulful piano in here. You know what I mean? I was like, whoa, this is different. It was like a musical moment. It felt like Kanye's talking about, you know what, I still make these mistakes in my relationship. There's no regrets. That's just how I am. This is how I've been since I've grown up in high school. I was too grown. This is how Kanye's been since he was young. So this is how Kanye's always been. Then we get to Ghost Town. Now Ghost Town felt like some different shit. I don't know. For me personally, it felt like a Beatles track. I don't listen to the Beatles that much, but the tracks I've heard from the Beatles, I'm like, this sounds like something that could be on Sgt. Pepper or something like that, or Abbey Road. It sounded like some Beatles shit. The reason I say that is just because it was like a whole track of singing. It sounded like some shit that could have been on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Bring it into Kanye a little bit more, because it was a lot of singing. I think we heard Kanye for 8 bars, but it opened up with Kid Cudi, and then it switched to Kanye West, which was a nice touch. I liked it. And then the feature vocal, I don't know who that was at the end, but they kind of brought it all together. I don't know, I really liked the track. It felt very soulful, very musical, very layered. It's just these musical moments throughout the album that I'm just like, okay, this is good music. And then you have the last track where he went super personal as far as his daughter. Some of the fears, some of the hopes that he has for his daughter. I thought Kanye took a funny take on it. I hope your body stayed more like mine and not like your mommy's. Don't do Pilates, don't do yoga. And I think that's relatable for any person who has a daughter, any father who has a daughter, obviously. It kind of brought Kanye back to earth. Like, okay, Kanye, he deals with the same shit that I bet you a bunch of fathers are dealing with. So I really like that track. So yeah, overall, as far as the album, I really like it. It felt like a musical moment. It felt like a confessions, like a Here My Dear, like a love letter to his wife, and a lot of dope musical moments. Not even just the lyrics, not even the writing, but just the arrangement of the music, the instrumentals, everything about the album is just well done. Compact, and it's just really fucking good music. I mean, shout out to the label, because they live up to the expectation. It's just good ass music. Especially the first 3 tracks, fuck, you can put that shit on and that shit'll bang. And I mean, it's getting plays. Actually, even out in Vermeer, BC, I heard people listening to it at their work. I heard people listening to it out of their cars. So it's reaching people. And it seems like this has got a really good response from the people. So the album is going. And honestly, for me personally, it's got a good response. It took me a minute to get the consistency, but I got the consistency. I like he was being open about his relationships. We got two sides of Kanye. We got the braggadocious Kanye, which we love. We got the personal Kanye, which we love. We got the musical Kanye, which we love. We got the banger Kanye, which we love. So I thought we got all sides of Kanye in 7 tracks, which is like, what the hell? That's pretty much all I gotta say. If you fuck with this album, if you don't fuck with this album, let me know. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear, what did the album make you feel? I want to hear. Let's have a conversation about the album. If we're listening to it, might as well talk about it. If you haven't yet, subscribe. Check out the content, check out the videos. We're gonna keep putting out music. We'll see if we can keep on the Kanye streak and catch up. The next one's probably gonna be Nazir. Follow the Instagram, the social medias, Esteban Xound on Instagram, Esteban Xound on Twitter. If you wanna follow just the page, just for Sound Movement and HipHop Heads, that's gonna be at Sound Movement on Instagram and Facebook. It's also gonna be on the website soon enough, www.soundmovement.com. Check out the website. Everything's still in the baby stages. We're still working everything out. Thank you for listening. Peace.
Liquor got a lady, liquor got a baby looking shady as a lady wife. Liquor got a baby, liquor got a lady looking shady, yeah. Liquor got a baby, liquor got a lady looking shady as a baby wife.
So going through this album, I'm thinking this album, I put my hand on the stove to see if I still bleed, and nothing hurts anymore. I feel kind of free. So I really like that. That's okay. I'll just have to edit this out.
Ok, está lista la pasta, papi. Venga, coma.
Gracias. Puedes cerrar la puerta. Come on. Ah, yeah. She trusts me, and then she still won't close the door. But it's time to eat. Anyway, shout out to anybody who watches that new show with Puff Daddy. I don't know why I was doing this, like I'm jacking off anyway.